I'm Rob Licuria, Senior Editor at Gold Derby, here with Gary Clark, composer and songwriter on Flora and Son. Gary, at the premiere screening of Flora and Son at Sundance last January, the audience embraced it with a spontaneous clap along and rapturous standing ovation. What does that kind of reaction to the music in particular mean to you personally?
Well, sadly, I wasn't actually at Sundance. I missed that. I just got the report. John Carney, the director, called me pretty much straight after it. And yeah, it's incredibly exciting because you don't know how a film is if it's gonna reach people at all. You're so inside it when you're making it, and then you just kind of pray that it's good. And at the end of the day, it's the human reaction that tells you what you need to know, isn't it?
Absolutely. And what I love about John Carney's films, this is like the latest of a string of love letters to how music brings us together and makes us feel. What are your thoughts on the profound effects that music has on us, that the film actually explores?
Well, because it's had such a profound effect on me, I can't deny it. From when I was a toddler, I was just singing my lungs out and then begging to get a guitar to learn to play. And then I was very much like, the first movie I did with John was called Sing Street, which is about a school band. And we basically were comparing our lives, and we were both in that school band. And I've kind of lived my dream through music, really. And so that there's nothing shocking about it to me at all. I actually think it has such a profound effect on you. And we use music for so many things, to celebrate. We use it at funerals. We use it when we're alone. We use it in so many different ways when we're out jogging.
Yeah, that's right. And what this film explores is how Flora begins this journey with her mindset is, music is just there, and it's something that she can listen to some EDM on the bus. The way the film explores a particular song is that it should stop time. And that really resonates with me because there's a moment where Flora's experiencing that emotional reaction to Joni Mitchell performing both sides now. And frankly, that song, whenever I hear it, time does stop for me. It's just such an incredible song. And so I wonder, when you're writing music, does that ever occur to you? I want to be able to have whoever's listening to this stop what they're doing and just take it in and experience it.
You want your music to have the effect on others that listening to great music has on you. So yes. Do you think about it that squarely? No, I don't think you do, but I think it's ultimately, I think that's what you want to do. You want to give that feeling that other people have given to you, and the feeling for me is massive.
Yeah. You've collaborated with John, as you say, on Sing Street, also on his series Modern Love before this film. What are the main reasons why you two keep coming back to each other? Why do you work so well together?
Well, I'm very grateful that John keeps calling me, but and at the end of the day, these are his films. So if he wanted to work with somebody else, then I'm sure that sometimes he will. But I'm just very glad that we do seem to have something that kind of clicks together. We both kind of we're not trained musicians, but we come from playing in bands and stuff. So it's like we're a little band. And John is a really great songwriter and a great musician. And so it's quite comfortable, fun. Even when we're not in the middle of a film, we'll send each other little bits of jams or ideas for songs. And yeah, we just seem to have found a rhythm. We kind of work like a tag team, really. It's quite interesting. John will start something on his garage band and send it to me in a kind of half-finished state with little sketchy lyrics and stuff. And then I'll put it in Pro Tools and take it further and then send it back to him. We kind of bounce it like that. And then other times he'll just say to me, I need a song for this scene, and he'll just kind of set me free on it, you know. So yeah, I've found a rhythm, which is nice.
Yeah. How does your decades of experience collaborating with pop and rock artists like Natalie Imbruglia and the Veronicas, Mochiba, Delta Goodrem, and Demi Lovato inform your approach to composing for film?
Well, in the song sense, as opposed to the score sense, I think it has a massive effect. And I didn't really realize it until I started to write songs for film. I mean, I'm absolutely obsessed with music in films and have been since I was a kid. And so, and I've had quite a few placements in films, but until John called me, which is about 9 or 10 years ago now, I'd never actually been able to write something specifically for a film. But I had been writing a lot, as you say, with other artists for their records. And the process of that, I mean, because I actually started as an artist myself, so I could write about my own life. And then I had to learn it's not really about me, it's about the person who's going to be singing the song. And so when you collaborate with an artist, the first thing you kind of try and do is get into what's happening in their life, how they're feeling, what's going on. And so that, I would say, was my training ground for writing for characters, really. Not writing for myself, but trying to find the idea for the song in what they're going through. And John writes such great characters, so they're instantly inspiring, you know, and the stories are inspiring.
Yeah. How challenging is it to overlay your score that you wrote for this film with all the needle drops that a film like Flora and Son is going to employ, obviously, and all the different songs that you've written as well? You don't want the score to be invisible and disappear. Obviously, it's there, and it's an important part of the emotional resonance of the film. So how did you make that equation when you were working on it?
Well, John's taught me a lot about score, or certainly the way that he likes score to be. He never likes it to be overly emotive or emotional or tell you what to think. Like, his thing about score is this kind of, and it's not background music either, but it just has to have this kind of dignity, is a word that he uses quite a lot. And it's kind of like a, not overstating itself, and that's the challenge. So whenever I send something to John that's maybe, I might think it's an absolutely beautiful melody or something, but if it triggers that thing in him where he goes, no, you're telling me what to feel here, then he'll push back against it. And I've got really a bulletproof. I just go right back to the drawing board and come up with something else, you know. There was one time, it's when we were working on Modern Love, and it was a particularly difficult montage that went through a lot of different emotions, from funerals to like people meeting and somebody going through a cancer, and, you know, it was and it was particularly difficult. And I did this, the first piece of music, John, exactly that. He said, no, it's too emotional, you know. And then he said, just try some stuff on piano. So I sent him 3 different piano, really just me jamming to picture. And then I sent him them, and he gets back to me and he said, that one is absolutely killing me. And I said, what one? He said, the piano one. Yeah, but I sent you 3 piano pieces, you know. It took me some deciphering to figure out which one he actually liked. But again, it was kind of the one that just sort of sat there and didn't push your buttons, you know. So that's kind of a...
And then, of course, it builds that beautiful, satisfying climactic moment with High Life, which I just thought was the perfect way for the film to crescendo. But we will talk more about that when we bring you back for our group panel. Thank you, Gary, for your time today. So
thank you. It's my absolute pleasure.